What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing something that I know a lot of people have been asking for, and that's going to be how to light paint. Now, I've got GoPro footage, I've got editing, we're going to be talking about my settings, and we're going to be going through the entire process. I know that's something that a lot of you guys talked about in my last video, so we're going to be going ahead and explaining that a little bit further in this one. So we're going to be talking about, my camera setup. I'm going to be talking about all sorts of things. Now, just to let you guys know, I am using a Sony A7 Mark II, and I have a remote control sensor that controls my shutter speed, so it is on a manual shutter speed. My pictures are around 30 seconds to about 40 seconds of an exposure time, and I have an f-stop of anywhere between 3 to 5. So just remember those kind of things when we're going forward. Auto white balance is on. We also have ISO settings set at 50. That is going to be for the foreground photos. Now for the background photos, my ISO is set at 3000. The picture exposure time is only about, I don't know, 20 to 30 seconds, so you gotta bump that ISO up. We do that in the background photo, and then we're going to actually compose a dual layered photo, a composite photo if you will, and then we're going to merge them into one and then blend those photos together. Alright guys, so without further ado, we're going to be going into the light painting video from the GoPro footage, and I'm going to show you guys how I walk around the car as well as some things to look out for. So let's go into that footage right here, right now. Hey, what's going on, guys? So as you can see right here, I'm setting up the Miata, getting it parked and framed for the actual photo. Just trying to get like the right angle as well, trying to actually get that composition right. I have the photo in a portrait style right now, just that way I can have that kind of composure, setting it up. So the next step is going to be getting your car in focus. I'm running with a manual focus for this shot, and that's just because you really want to have a manual focus when you're doing light painting. You don't want to mess with the settings or do anything, and you want to just kind of set it and forget it, especially once you have a dual layered photo. So if you're doing a background shot as well as a foreground shot, you want to make sure that you have that focus honed in. Now, I'm walking around the car right now. We're doing some foreground testing shots, if you will, and that's just to make sure I can actually get it all in the shot and what the actual settings are. My f-stop is running at around 3 right now, 3 to 5, and we can actually see me walking around the car and then flashing my lights. So with this, you want to make sure that when you are shining the light, you're not shining the light down on your feet. Your light stays in front of you at all times, as well as not showing back into the lens, because if it captures that, that's when you get streaking. So make sure that that stays important to you guys and in your minds when you're doing these things. So getting that shot and doing it over and over again, getting your settings right is really important. Again, this is sped up, but my exposures are around 30 to 40 seconds, and you can see that here, just me going through different angles and everything. I don't have really great footage of last night because it was really pitch black, so what we can do here is actually go into this footage and see how I edit it, which you can see right here. Alright guys, so as you can see, I'm starting to edit these photos right now. We're going to start with the background. Now, this photo was shot with a 30-second exposure at ISO 3000, and the f-stop was at around 3. So I'm actually going ahead and clone it. As you can see, I'm cloning and just making sure that the actual background is a little bit better, changing up the temperatures, making it a little bit more realistic, so that way you're not having, super city lights or anything like that. And you can see that I'm going through each and every shader just to see how it would look like and testing everything out, as well as turning down that grain because ISO is so high. Now, this was just, a background shot. I'm not really focusing on the car in this moment, even though it is there, this isn't going to be used. Now, Alright, so this shot right here was accomplished using around a 30-second shutter speed, and we had around a 3.0 f-stop, and the ISO was cranked all the way down to 50. So making sure that, you know, it's as sharp as possible, there is no grain or anything like that, and everything was in focus. So that's kind of what I'm doing in this photo. Now, something that you can see in this one is there's slight ghosting, so I'm not going to use this photo for an edit, so I moved on to this next photo, and we're going to be working at the background on this one. And this one's going to be a little bit cool because it's really around the same settings as the last shot for the shutter speed and everything like that too, and how it was accomplished. And so I'm just kind of taking a different take on this one. So as you can see, we're editing a little bit differently, and it's going to be the background shot. Now as we go into the foreground shot, I'm going to be making sure that the Miata is in focus and that everything that we do going forward is set up so when we go into Photoshop that they blend extremely well together, and we'll see that here in just a second. Alright guys, so I don't have full-on Photoshop, but I do have Adobe Elements, and it's essentially like Photoshop Lite, but there's a lot of stuff that you can do with it. So right now I've selected both my foreground and my background photos into making a composite, and I've also set up another layer so that way we can set it up and blend those two together. Now what I've selected is just the actual select tool, and I'm merging essentially the background with the foreground shots, and you can do that and then pretty much be done, but you want to, you know, get everything a little bit nicer. So I'm blending it all together and making sure that it is a nice photo, because there are things that won't look 100% with it, and you have to kind of, like, you know, go into the details as we're doing right here and then actually taking those out. But not everybody likes a pink birdhouse right there, so we're going to take that out. Now we're going to take out also this fence because it is kind of like an eyesore, and this takes a little bit of time just because you're tracing the vehicle as well. And when you do that, you got to make sure that you can go back in time. So what I do is I click a lot along the way once I'm doing this, so in case I mess up, it's not just one giant brush stroke that I have to redo. So I'm doing little clicks along the way, following the body line, you know, taking my time with it. This is something that's going to take a lot of patience with it as well. So just remember that going forward, is that when you do these kind of things and you do like a composite shot or any kind of photo editing or anything like that that requires, you know, a little bit more in depth than just a, you know, slider, shader, Lightroom edit, you're gonna have to do that next little extra step. So, and this isn't like, you know, 100% perfect. You know, I've been doing this for quite some time, but this is like, you know, there's always room to grow, and that's something that, you know, I take that with me even to today. So just remember, you know, be open to criticism and everything like that too, and you'll be golden going forward. But yeah, check that out. That was actually a pretty quick edit on the left hand side. Now we're gonna go into the right hand side here, and we're gonna actually clean that up a little bit as well. I mean, it's not too terrible, but you can look in there and see that there's bushes in the back, which, you know, we need to really get those out, just that way it really focuses your eye in on the Miata as well as the sky, and it blends well together. So again, you know, going into the actual photo, getting in there, going for the details, smoothing it all out, and then getting everything kind of exactly where you need it to be is something that takes time, and it won't come to you easily. You know, I'm about to like make a mistake right here. You just want to go ahead and clean that up and then zoom back out, and it's one of those things that it takes time. It really takes time to actually see all these different layers of everything kind of combining into one, and once you get like an actual good setup and everything like that, you can really hone your skills and then make a good photo. So appreciate you guys for listening, and thank you so much. I really hope this video helped you guys out. Alright, well, thank you guys so much for watching the video. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I really appreciate it every time you guys do. You know, if you guys have suggestions on what you would like to see in the next video, comment that down below. And thank you guys so much for watching, and remember to stay creative. Thanks. Composure. Hey, what's going on? Good morning, guys. Today we are going to be talking about something. God, that f***ing cicada. Shut up!